Hey, it's Gigamax with part 2. Okay, let's just get into it. Okay, so last time we were here, we were just finishing up the introduction. Now it's time to head off to the first class. Okay. First, I'm actually seeing Slytherin. I've recently finished all the movies to try to catch up with the game, so quite curious of how some of the other things are, since my knowledge of the game isn't as in-depth as other people when it comes to more in-depth lore and all that other stuff. So I probably will be unaware of quite a bit. But yeah, might as well see what's what. Hopefully the quality of videos gets better as time goes on. I really am not a fan of my current setup when it comes to audio quality and all that, so hopefully I can upgrade in the near future and also learn how to talk to no one. Yeah, that's gonna take some getting used to, but oh well, it is what it is. Keep eating fruit. Hopefully this game has good level progression and doesn't just end up with some weird upgrades like the Witcher franchise. Or not franchise, Witcher 3.
I suppose some introductions are in order.
Ooh.
Well, I suppose... No. Can I help you?
Did you see the way that it's warm?
Ah, you're the new 5th year. I'm Sebastian Sallow. Welcome to Slytherin. Thank you. Not everyone has a ministry escort to school. He was a friend of Professor Fig's who merely joined us for the ride. Still, impressive. Dreadful way to go, poor fellow. Glad you and Fig are all right. It was dreadful, certainly, but quite an experience nonetheless. Interesting perspective. How did you and Fig manage to escape? It's all still a bit of a blur, to be honest. Didn't mean to press. You just get yourself settled. We can talk more later. What book were you reading? A spell book I picked up. Has a few interesting things, but not exactly what I was looking for. I'm sure you'll find out soon enough. But not every spell you may need can be found in our assigned textbooks. Are you saying some spells aren't taught at Hogwarts? Which ones? Seems I may have met a kindred spirit. That is a conversation for another time. It was good meeting you. Good luck today.
Okay, so if there was unique stuff for different groups, I will most likely play the game again, but with a different faction. So hopefully that is the case, so I can make more videos of this and see how that goes. Though my goal for the channel is for it to be more variety, so when I find another game that
might want to think that again.
When I find another game that catches my attention, I'll jump to that one. Also, you shut up.
If you do that, you'll lose. Trust me.
What are you talking about?
Ugh, not going to move there, are you?
Oh,
Here,
start talking.
Watch this.
Don't say I didn't warn you. Checkmate. Told you. You should have listened to me. Ah, I know who you are. You're the new Slytherin, the one who barged in with Professor Fig last night. Interesting tactic on your first day, taking all the attention away from the first years. I'm Imelda, by the way. Shame I wasn't with you in Fig. I could have lured that dragon away. My skills on a broom are legendary.
Perhaps Professor Fig's friend would have survived if we'd had your help.
Precisely. Perhaps one of these days I'll show you a thing or two about flying. I can teach you more than Kogawa ever could. Speaking of which, I'd like to get in some time on my broom before classes.
Do you have a lot of time to fly during school?
I make the time. There's nothing like swerving through the spires of the castle and around the Quidditch pitch to clear the mind.
Are you a keen Wizard chess fan? You knew that boy was going to lose the match.
Not really. Much too sedate a pastime for me. Also, it's simply not that challenging. The moves are always so obvious. Why does no one else see it?
Goodbye, Imelda.
Nice meeting you.
Okay, and for the last guy.
I think I heard one.
Doubt mermaids find us that interesting. Ah, based on all the chatter when you entered the common room, I'm guessing you're the new 5th year. I'm Ominous. Ominous Gaunt.
Nice to meet you, Ominous.
Well, you certainly had a memorable arrival.
Is he blind, or does he just not want to look at me? Because I'm getting mixed messages on this guy.
Well, if I'm going to make my mark here, I had to start right away.
You're definitely in the right house. Do let me know if I can be of any help as you navigate your first days here, though I doubt you'll need it.
Look at me!
Were you expecting to be sorted into Slytherin?
Most certainly. My family on my father's side are direct descendants of Salazar Slytherin, one of the 4 founders of Hogwarts. Not something I'm especially proud of, mind you. He was obsessed with blood status, a pure-blood maniac. Unfortunately, most of his descendants do not fall far from that tree.
Okay, so what I do know, this guy I think is most likely, well, he is most definitely related to, I forgot his name, Voldemort. I don't know if this is his uncle or if this is just a callback to the character. Again, information's not as clear for me.
Did that student say he thought he heard a mermaid?
Yes, but I've never heard of a mermaid showing up outside our common room window. It is fun to play along, though. Been known to keep some first years on the lookout for hours.
Thank you, Ominous. Very nice to meet you.
Pleasure was all mine. Don't be a stranger.
Is the new 5th year Slytherin in here? Professor Weasley's waiting for you just by the stairs.
And of course, there has to be a Weasley.
Lumos. Revelio.
I can't wait to get some truly sinister spells. Yes. That is it. That's what I must get. That is what I need. Hopefully you can get all 3.
Good morning. I trust you're ready for your first day at Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you are here. Make the most of it. You only have one first day at Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a 5th year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind. Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the year.
OWLs? Owls?
Yes, your ordinary wizarding level exams. They will determine what type of career you can have when you leave here. After much discussion with the headmaster and the Department of Magical Education at the Ministry, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success. Here you are.
What is it?
It is a wizard's field guide. It will help you to keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a 5th year. You would be wise to take full advantage of this exceptionally valuable resource.
Thank you, Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test. This way.
Ooh.
I certainly would have appreciated something like the field guide when I was a student. Using the guide will also train you to be alert to your surroundings.
Revelio.
The guide will give you opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizarding lore. Do keep up.
Okay, so that's nice. I can use that to see chests at a distance. Okay, so that's just the detective vision then. Up.
Why don't you cast Revelio on that statue and see what details the field guide can provide?
Revelio.
This statue depicts the Kelpie, a shape-shifting water demon native to Ireland and Great Britain, which usually takes the form of long mermaid horse. The largest Kelpie ever reported is the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland. Well, that's interesting at least. Where's combat? Where's combat? I don't see combat. Why isn't there combat? Oh, there it is. But I can't access it yet, sadly.
Clever, isn't it? Keep your eyes open for more opportunities like that, inside and outside of the castle.
Oh, so that's this, I guess. All the other spells I can get eventually. Disillusionment. Wingardium Leviosa. Also, I guess these are just non-combat spells that I would use to organize a realm. And the spell I can use to get expelled immediately. Ooh, all three of them are here. That's good. I wonder how long it takes to get them, though. Because I'll definitely have all three assigned. Well, I guess that is the most basic thing, since everyone is going to be doing that. Though, to be fair, I don't know who in their right mind would not want that. At least there's a good variety. And it looks like they might add more in DLC, so at least that's interesting. Hopefully I can just get, I forgot. I have to find some of the spells, so that sucks. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Ooh, what's this?
Ah, good timing. Perfect opportunity to show you how to use flue flames to get around a bit quicker. Your field guide contains a map of the castle. Open it up and find Central Hall.
Oh, here it is. Central Hall.
And here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly to Central Hall.
I was expecting a effect, but I
You
guess
can get
not.
almost anywhere in the castle quickly from Central Hall. Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive, our King's Cross station, so to speak. That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
What will I learn in Charms class?
Exactly what you might expect. Spells, charms, jinxes, all terribly useful. I think you will enjoy Professor Ronan. He's a clever and entertaining wizard, and a talented teacher.
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, as the name implies, focuses on how to defend oneself against the evils that lurk beyond these walls. A mastery of Defense Against the Dark Arts is required for those who aspire to become aurors. Fortunately, we are lucky to have the ever-gifted Professor Hecat in charge of our students' education in that regard.
You mentioned Hogsmeade, Professor.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village in Britain and is home to an array of shops and pubs. You should be able to find all of the school supplies you require in Hogsmeade. You will also, I imagine, enjoy many a butterbeer there with friends in due course.
There always has to be a Weasley, no matter where you go.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm afraid that's all there is to it.
Almost precisely what Professor Fig said. Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you. Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
What happened to the Weasley family is my question. They seem to have gone kind of down the drain within the most recent movies.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you masterfully evade Professor Weasley's interrogation regarding our late arrival?
I did my best, but I'm fairly certain she suspects that we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
Okay, what am I looking for? Okay, so it's just a main missions.
The map is enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Okay. Guess it's time for the first class. You already know what spells I'm going to go for. If I can't immediately curse someone to death, I ain't doing it right. The game does look stunning though. Very lifelike. And also giving a more detailed approach to Hogwarts can never hurt. And there's a clown in here for some reason.
He should burn the castle down.
I'm assuming that's a ghost.
Might as well be surrounded by Jarvies.
Let's see. Any chest nearby? Yo. I see nothing so far. There's nothing of serious note. What's this? Oh. Why is there a poisoned room in a school?
Do you mind where you're stepping? Oh, not someone else trying to pass through. I'd be careful if I were you. If you could just tread carefully, that's all I ask.
This passage is relatively nondescript as far as passages go. However, the mishandling of a crop of Mimbulas. Dear God, what's up with this name? Mimbulas, Mimbeliana in the 16th century, an accompanying tsunami stink sap, left with a rancid odor that even the strongest scourge charm cannot seem to eradicate. At least that is some explanation. I won't say the best one, but it is at least a one.
Revelio.
I hit the dead end. Okay, yes, if those are the ghosts, what's up with the clown?
Has one person even tried to sort this dreadful odor? No, yet I hang in innocence, the brunt of jokes.
I'll let you sit there for a little longer. I have nothing to fix that yet. And the clown's gone, so it's even more of a mystery.
Revelio.
Well, I guess I might as well get the classes done and over with.
Is that all you've got?
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces in your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Okay. Levioso's flicking. Swish and flick. I forgot what it was.
Levioso.
Now, let's try something a little larger. Let us begin with the basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprise Levioso. Good. Now, well done.
Levioso.
Very good, but the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
This should be easy.
Levioso.
Good form.
I know. Can't be your first duel. Let's just say I'm a quick learner. Protego. Stupid tiger.
He stands no chance.
Levioso.
Watch your opponent for signs to attack or defend yourself.
He stood no chance.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Slytherin.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, But battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right, that's enough spectacle for one day. Class is dismissed.
If you know the right spells, it's dark wizards that'll fear you, not the other way around.
Huh. Always thought Levioso was for first years. Not anymore.
I do remember the name Sallow appearing in the story. I think it was
Nice work.
I think it was for the necklace Horcrux. And it belonged to the Sallow family or something like that. Let's see. I can't get in here yet. That sucks.
Revelio.
Anything of value? Anything at all? Nope.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice? Felt more like I was dueling an expert. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
In fact, it was. Perhaps I have a knack for it.
Be coy if you like, but I know better. Magic requires intention and talent. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck, or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance, if you're interested. Till next time.
Yep. Well, I hope, and no one.
Resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be included.
I hope no one doesn't mind me taking a full detour to focus exclusively on combat training. And I'll get as much as I can. Hopefully I can finish it all without needing to progress the story. I tend to be the type that completes the story in its entirety, well, all the side quests first before I finish the main story. If I can do that, I'll be happy. Okay, nothing here. Thought I'd at least check. Never know what secrets hide. Especially in a school where finding secrets is also part of the point. Since this takes place before the main story, and also before Dumbledore was alive, hopefully I can get the Grand Wand as an item. That'd be nice. There it is.
Professor Ronan tends to go on a bit. We sometimes have to remind him to finish the lesson.
Some of us don't necessarily want him to get back to the lesson.
It's time to trade in my Oakshaft 79 for a newer model.
The best way to learn how to fly a broomstick is by trial and error. In my case, it was a lot of error.
I just know you are finally going to win the Quidditch Cup this year.
I cannot do this for all
Albie Weeks has been experimenting with new broom models for a while now.
Wonder what Kagawa thinks of Quidditch being cancelled. Bet she's fuming.
If you lean forward on your broom just right, you can get an incredible burst of speed.
That Ray's girl thinks she can fly better than anyone. All talk, if you ask me.
Well, that's interesting.